I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm talking about 3 popular games that didn't work for me. We're doing 3 little mini roundup reviews. Reviews might be the wrong word. More first impressions. I guess the Robin Hood I've only played once. I debated playing it again, but I really didn't enjoy. Well, I have a play and a half, but I don't want to play it again right now. We'll talk more about that why. Undaunted 2200 Callisto I've played twice. Hamburg I've played twice. Although I have played Bruges that Hamburg is based on a absolute ton. But I'm going to go into all 3 of these, explaining why they didn't work for me. They all have different reasons, like they all have drastically different reasons. But before I do, I should mention that this channel is sponsored by Allplay. You can check them out at the link down below in the description, but allplay.com, a place where you can get a variety of things, including games, which you should expect, but as well as the shelves behind me, and even the playmat you see on this table over here. Yes, this is a playmat right now. I can show you like by picking up this edge over here. This is a playmat from Allplay. You can check them out at the link down below. With that, let's go ahead and dive into these, and let's go from the least exciting to the most exciting. I think maybe that I'm guessing on the order. Let's start with Hamburg. Hamburg is from the Queen Games Stefan Feld City Collection. This is a re-implementation of Bruges, a game that I absolutely adore. I cannot tell you how many good things I have to say about Bruges. Now, I will say that does mean that the City Collection, when they come out with a version of a game that I already love, they are to a certain extent fighting an uphill battle. Because I already like what I have in front of me. I probably like the art, I like the mechanics, I like the components, I like the thing that's in front of me. So when you make something that's a different version of that, sometimes you can have wins, but other times I just prefer the original, which would happen with Hamburg. I will say, by the way, random tangent, but I think that my favorite new version of theirs is Cusco, reimplementation of Bora Bora. I think is a much better version of Bora Bora, and that's the main city game collection that I have actually kept from the city game Stefan Feld City Collection. But Hamburg is trying to replace Bruges, and they do so with a bunch of small little things. First of all, the art of the game changed in general. I don't like the art of the new game. I don't like the art style. I don't like the art choices. I feel that Bruges really gives you a much more vibrant city, and this feels much more dull. It just doesn't. I don't like the art design choices as far as what the board looks like when you play this. The cards. I think the cards look terrible compared to Bruges. They I believe there's 2 versions of the game. One that has text on the cards, one without. The one without, I would never recommend. Yes, there's an iconography guide. Yes, you can figure it out, but I do not find it intuitive at all. The one with text on the cards, I do think is a better step in the right direction. But then I'm just kind of looking at this small little bubble of text and ignoring everything else, and it doesn't. The cards don't look great. So I think the board game design choice looks bad. I think the cards don't look great. The components in general are fine. I don't think they're better or worse than regular Bruges. And then the rules changes. The rules changes for some areas I actually like them, some I'm neutral on, and some I don't care. I think that overall, like there's a whole thing of like drawing cards from the same decks versus different decks, or sorry, from having one of each color. You can choose complete control of the color. I kind of prefer the original Bruges in that sense, but I don't feel that strongly about it. And there's a lot of small little expansion modules that add things to Bruges. That's the one area that I like the most of what Hamburg is doing, because there's gameplay elements that you can only get if you choose to hold on to Hamburg. For me, ultimately, I like Bruges enough, and I dislike most of the changes they've made in Hamburg, or dislike or neutral on, that for me, Hamburg was I'm happy they made it. I'm happy people who have not played Bruges have an opportunity to play a version of Bruges that still is fantastic. Like, I have had fun playing Hamburg. Just each time I've played it, I've been like, I'd rather just play the original Bruges. But unfortunately, Bruges is out of print and Hamburg is available, so you may not have that option unless you're willing to shell out a lot for an out-of-print copy. But if you are, I do recommend doing so. You can also try it on yukata.de if you want to see more if you like the game, or you could just play Hamburg whenever you have an opportunity to do so, and then see if this one works for you or not. I still think Hamburg is great. I just don't think that it holds up to Bruges for me. From there, we'll dive into Undaunted 2200 Callisto. This is a new version of Undaunted. Now, this one's on me, by the way. When I say that these games, like, I don't know what I put for the title of the video, either like 3 games I bounced off on, or 3 popular games that didn't work for me, whatever title I put. Undaunted is on me. That's because Undaunted 2200 feels like playing Undaunted. So it's on me for hoping that it would feel better or different. Now, I don't mind Undaunted as a system, but I will say that in general, David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin, brilliant designers. I've loved a lot of their games. The Undaunted system, which is actually based on the War Chest system to an extent, I've always been okay with. Honestly, War Chest in general, I was generally okay with. I never fell in love with the system. I like the concept of the deck building, but it always felt like, I don't have a good, it felt like I didn't like the system. It's a longer explanation. Basically, you're playing a deck building system where you kind of control troops. So you can invest into troops by buying more of those troops. That means you activate those troops more than other troops until eventually they get hit and they slowly start dying because you start removing cards from your hand or eventually cards from your deck as you slowly lose access to those troops. You're kind of deck building, but the deck building is based around a direct connection to the unit on the board. It started in War Chest to continue from there to Undaunted, to the Undaunted system. They even had the what's it called, Dire Alliance, I believe, a game that never came out that utilized the same system. That kind of building into a bunch of these units. It's a fascinating twist on deck building that I think is very, very smart, and I never loved it. I didn't dislike it, but also not disliking a game is not a strong testament either. Although I will say, for your awareness, I think I'm in the minority. I think Undaunted is a well-loved system, and for me it's one that I always merely enjoyed. That unfortunately carried forward in Undaunted 2200. Now when I say it's on me, it's the fact that I was so excited for Undaunted 2200 because I was like, you know what? I always liked Undaunted, but never loved Undaunted, and this is a space version of it, and I never liked World War II themed games in general, or World War I. Modern war stuff I never liked quite as much, so like a space version of it, maybe I'll just like the theme and more, and they'll also make changes to it. And they have made changes, but it's still 95% Undaunted. It still feels like you're playing an Undaunted game. Sure, there's some more unit types. There's a whole solo campaign, although I think they have that in regular Undaunted. There's all these small little adjustments. There's like elevated terrain and all those things. And again, I should note, I've played a bunch of Undaunted. I don't remember what was in original Undaunted versus what's new here, but there definitely are some small things here that are new here. Even just the mechs. The mechs are fun, although again, there's vehicles in Undaunted. Overall, this feels like Undaunted space flavor. And that's fine. I was hoping for it to be a little bit more, and I was hoping that space flavor would also help me enjoy it more. And I don't disenjoy it. I don't dislike it. It's just the same problem I've always had with Undaunted. I feel fine playing it. I enjoy myself when I'm playing it. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's not one that I love, unfortunately, and I was hoping to like this one a lot more. So, as far as, I don't know if I've been doing reviews on these, but honestly, I don't feel comfortable giving scores on these. Because Hamburg is a great game that I just prefer Bruges. Undaunted is more Undaunted, which is what I should have expected. I just hoped it would feel more different or better, and it hasn't done so for me. And then lastly, a Gest of Robin Hood, which, with a play and a half under my belt, again, I don't feel comfortable giving scores on this one, but I'll say I don't want to play this again. I actively do not want to play, I guess, Robin Hood. I have really, really, really not enjoyed my time with it. But it's really, really popular. People really, really like it. I think in some way or capacity, I am missing this. This is basically a coin game series. Some GMT games, it's like a intro to coin games kind of game. Very accessible, two-player, based on the Robin Hood. One player plays as the sheriff, one player plays as Robin Hood. And then you're playing on this like board over here. Let's show you on the top cam. You're playing on this board where you're trying to navigate around the map as Robin Hood tries to get his units out, as the Sheriff of Nottingham tries to get his carriages out. Robin Hood's going to be robbing the carriages. There's a whole event card that's going to be coming out every round, and each round you're choosing between taking like a basic plot or choosing the event card or doing plots and deeds and having a lot more control, but also not controlling who goes first next turn, as well as often paying more money, your shillings, for that control. It's a back and forth game where you basically choose an action, resolve that action, your opposing player chooses an action, and if you're playing as Robin Hood, you're trying to you're trying to get your marker, ultimately trying to get the marker to justice, or alternatively to order, justice or order, depending on which side you're playing as. But the way you do that is going to depend. You each have your own row of plots and deeds you can utilize. There's 3 plots and 4 deeds, and each faction has these ways they can try to navigate. How do you move around the board? How do you get involved in combats? Do you rob people? How do you create carriages? They're all these small actions you do. And then my favorite part of the game is the variable event cards that pop up, because that gives you something that's like different and interesting. You have to choose what to take advantage of. Like if you've played card-driven systems, which is a lot of these kind of historical card-driven games, this kind of, it's not really a card-driven game in the typical sense, but the event card that comes out that both players can take advantage of, that is the closest element to the card-driven system, where there's like ooh, well, look at this fun, cool ability that's different than the usual stuff I'm doing. I hated it. I played half a game on Board Game Arena, quit, and thought, you know what, I have to play it in person, because in person will be a whole different conversation. Then I played through it in person, and it didn't get any better for me. Like, I just thought maybe I missed it on BGA. Maybe I just didn't really fully get involved in it. So I read the rulebook again, dove into a person, and I just found the back and forth to be kind of tedious. I wasn't invested in what I was doing or what my opponent was doing. I didn't strongly care for it, and I don't have a strong distinction as to why. Like, when I think of this, I compare it mentally to a game to Ironwood. Ironwood is a game from Mind Clash Games that I think Ironwood is a very brilliant 2-player back and forth system, where I'm really involved in all the things that are happening playing, as I build up my engine, as I try to get the cards, as I try to control the board, it all works for me. And I could probably apply all those exact same labels to A Guest for Robin Hood, A Guest of Robin Hood. I could probably say the exact same things when describing both games, and one of them really worked for me and one of them really didn't. But the key thing is, it didn't work for me. Again, a play and a half later, and I'm like, I don't want to do it again. I just don't want to. That's why it doesn't have like a dedicated review video. It has this kind of roundup thoughts and opinions, because I feel the game deserves more. But I've given it a play, and again, half a play, gave up, and then a full play, and it's just not fun for me. I can see why it would be fun, because again, when I look critically at Ironwood and when I look at A Guest of Robin Hood, which rhyme now that I think about it, when I look at the two games, on paper, they fall into a lot of the same areas. And so I'm kind of surprised that this doesn't work for me, but at the end of the day, at least so far, it doesn't. And so I bounced off hard on this one. I actively don't want to play it. I feel I'm missing something. In theory, I might be open to playing it again sometime. Maybe against somebody who like really is more involved and invested. Because another thing I'll say is that each of the people I played it with, because I played with 2 different people each time, also bounced off of it. And so I don't know if there's something wrong. I don't know. It's well loved. People love this game. I don't know what to tell you. It has not worked for me, unfortunately. Those are these 3 games. Hamburg, Undaunted 2200, and A Guest of Robin Hood. 3 games that are well liked for a variety of reasons, and for me, for a variety of different reasons, they have not worked for me. In any case, then until next time, I hope you found this helpful in some way. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and as always, I hope you have a good one.